Good morning. It's me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of ourselves. Understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we really do have to make the changes within ourselves. We have to change our perspective so that we can attract new interactions with new individuals and new environments, because otherwise we're just going to keep seeing the same things happening over and over and wondering why. Good morning. Welcome. I'm late today, not because I was taking my sweet time, but because I have taken my dog out 3 times and she's refusing to go outside. So she's in the crate for this entire thing, which makes me feel bad. But when you're a dog owner and you're trying to potty train, what else are you going to do? She won't pee in her crate, which means she knows she's got to pee in certain places. So sadly, we won't see Bowie today. It's super stressing me out that she's in there, but like I'm trying to do what the book says, and it's like, she's puppy pad trained, but not like when I take her out, she won't go outside all the time consistently. So then she comes back up and goes when we get upstairs. And I'm like, no more. So that was my stressful 3 hours because I've been up since 5:30 trying to get her to go outside. Fun for me. Okay. I look forward to relaxing through this reading. Are we going to have a relaxing reading today? I freaking hope so. Okay. So you came here to this reading for a reason. There's some message that you want to hear. There's some experience that you want to have. Or some experience that you want to end, some change you want to make, whatever that is, hold that lightly in your mind right now. And that is what you think you need. And this is what you actually need. We're getting this card again. We've gotten this card before. And we actually got this one, and they came out together, and I'm shocked because this was like a few days ago too, so it's not even like okay. Anyway, so we're getting the preparation card and the 6 of Wands for victory. Luck comes most often to the person and the place where preparation, opportunity, and skill meet. Prepare for victory. This is what you actually need to do. You need to prepare for victory. Well, what does that look like? I'm thinking about this like I have been saying I don't want to live here for the longest time, okay? So victory for me is not having to live here. And I found out recently that is an option for me in March. So I should be preparing for that victory. Financially and like practically packing things up. It's like if you're not preparing for it, then you kind of believe it's not going to happen. So you need to really start preparing. Prepare to move on, prepare to move out, prepare to leave behind the internal struggle and receive whatever it is that you are asking for. And also, if you have a skill or a talent that you haven't been sharing publicly, understand that this time that you haven't been allowed to share your gift, like let's say, like for instance, I've been doing music for so long. When this opportunity comes to me that I can finally do music full time, receive abundance from it or whatever, I'm really prepared, right? I've been working on this for a long time. So it's this message as well. Like whatever it is that you've been working on, like it's here. So prepare to receive it. I'm here for it. I welcome it with open arms. All right, today's spread, I forgot to mention, is the release and rebuild spread. So if you come here seeking information about a specific person other than yourself, You can find out things about that person, but only because they're a reflection of your own energy. Your person, if you identify as a feminine gendered individual, and it doesn't matter what your biology is, or a masculine gendered individual, you or your person is going to be a mixture of the two energies. So when you hear feminine messages, it's not just messages for people who are of feminine gender or identifying as such, and vice versa. You can find out about the emotional side of your person from the feminine side, and you can find out about the action-oriented side of your person from the masculine side. But all of this is your own energy. So keep that in mind. For the release and rebuild spread, we use the feminine side of self to help us release something that has been holding us back. And then we use the masculine side of self to rebuild once the release has taken place. It's like, this is what we need to let go, and this is logistically what we should rebuild in its place. Let us begin. So, first, we take a look at the general energy surrounding where divine feminine needs to release. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse from the 8:55 on the clock and 5 people in the room. From the Mystical Moments, the Tarot of Mystical Moments. I love this card. She actually, on her gown, is composed of a newspaper of clippings about the suffragette movement, about equality between men and women. And then you are getting the Four of Cups from the Fountain Tarot in reverse in the heart space. So divine feminine, the Knight of Swords, when it's in its reverse, is about recklessness. It's about the failure to look truthfully at something because you're avoiding some truth that really hurts. It can be about wanting to slow things down that are moving much too fast, or moving much too fast and causing problems from the swift moving energy. In this case, we see this feminine, and she's wearing that gown, professing to create this equality. It's a card that is about like truth and integrity as well. Like the individual who comes in quickly, communicates the truth with integrity, and follows a strategy or a plan. This isn't like the willy-nilly energy of the Knight of Wands, or the sort of wishy-washy meandering quality of the Knight of Cups. This is strategic. And so to see it in its reversal is a sense of a lack of strategy, of not following a plan. And there being a certain amount of recklessness, of pushing, wanting things to happen fast. And then I see the card associated with fantasies and dreams, and, you know, the universe holding out this offer. In this case, we see this cup here, but this masculine energy just sort of like looking off and fantasizing. He kind of has a pleasant look. It's hard to see in this. He kind of has a self-satisfied grin. So there's this sense here of like, you know, he's just kind of lost in his own reverie. He's not really interested in moving things along. You know, he's good with it. He's enjoying his fantasy. And so to see this reversal is a person who has been really just sort of enjoying fantasy and dreams, is like, okay, I don't want to live in this place of fantasy. I want things to happen, and I want them to happen fast, because I'm sick of this always dreaming about something and not actually seeing it happen. And I need a plan. Like, if I'm going to actually fulfill my own dreams, then I need some kind of a plan. I need some kind of clarity or strategy on how to go forward, because I feel like I don't know now if I've released this fantasy I had. I don't know now exactly how to go forward. So that's the general feeling of the feminine side of self. Desperately wanting a strategy. So here is the hidden assistance. This is the thing that's been going on that might be uncomfortable or might not, but it's what's actually helping. So we have the Four of Pentacles upright for the feminine, and then the King of Pentacles in reverse in the heart space. So we have the feminine thinking about herself, working on establishing this financial foundation, being at home within herself, to a certain extent seeking external validation, but this has been something that's been positive. It's like sometimes posting on social media can hold us accountable for the things that we are trying to do because we told others about it. And so to a certain extent, divine feminine being seen and seeking external validation has actually been something that has helped her to really start to get this sense that she needs to actually have some kind of a strategy or plan to move forward, because she feels like there's this pause or this halt that she intends to be over. So the King of Pentacles in reverse, for me, this is a card also about letting go and holding on. In this case, we're seeing her hold on to this house, but it's like herself. And this card, which to me can be about a specific individual or a specific person being released, but this can also be about caring about what people think. So divine feminine may have started off in her headspace caring about what people think, but in her heart space, she doesn't really feel that like hooked by people's opinions. It's just been, like I said, like something that's kept her accountable for like, okay, I told all these people that I'm going to do this thing, so I'm going to do it. And like, while I feel their opinions don't really matter, it's like a way for me to just hold myself accountable. I care enough to do it, sort of a thing. And if there has been a specific person, masculine person, that the feminine has been really attached to, or a perception of self, like an unworthiness or not having enough or something, she's wanting to let go or release that. She's feeling the need to let that old story go. So that's what's the hidden assistance that's going to help her with the release. Now, here is what past experience she needs to release. The King of Pentacles and the Seven of Coins in reverse. So very interesting to see that her hidden assistance is getting rid of this guy. And what she needs to release is this guy, the King of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles, which is waiting for him to take care of his shit. We kept hearing this theme of patience running through the readings, and patience implies that you have to wait for something to be done, when in fact what would be more helpful is if we felt satisfaction, harmony, balance without the person. So everybody's been like, oh, it's fine, I can wait for my person to take care of themselves. I can wait for them to tend to themselves, and I can wait for this person to harvest the abundance between us. And it's like, no, that's not what the patience was intended for. Balancing the emotions in regards to letting go of this person is what the Temperance card is about. It's having patience with the self for having selected someone who's not ready for the purpose of refining oneself during healing. It's about forgiving and being patient with the self, that needed time to regulate emotions. But now you have to stop waiting for a specific person to be ready for you. That's implying that, I mean, there's a certain shift which has happened, that has been like, okay, I'm ready, my person's not. Whereas it used to be like, I need to, do things to get ready for my person. And people would be like, why are you putting it on the feminine? And I'm like, no, we're all needing to do things to get into alignment all the time, not just to come into union, but just in alignment every day. That's the whole thing, right? The Red Sea is parted in the morning, and then you have to remind yourself all day that it happened. That's just like how it is to be human. But there's this sense that you've had to wait to be ready, wait to be worthy, wait to be chosen. No. And the masculine needing his reputation, tending to his reputation, needing that to be so important, that is also what really needs to be let go for the masculine, or released for the masculine energy. So if you've been waiting for someone and you want my permission to keep doing it, you don't have it. I won't give you permission today to keep waiting until that person is ready for you. Nope. That's not the lesson. The lesson is to not wait. The lesson is to be in harmony in the self and balanced in the self, and, have patience with the person in terms of unconditional love, and be like, listen, I understand you're not ready. I love you. I send you all the best, and I look forward to seeing you happy in your life. Meanwhile, I'm ready. I'm absolutely healed, and I'm 100% attracting the same type of energy to me, which must be why you aren't able to come forward at this time, because you are not my person. My person is a match to me. So that's how this works. It's not like, oh, there was a flame that broke into two flames. And no, I call bullshit on that until somebody shows me the source of that story, like that has as ancient of a tradition as all the other stories in the world that I know of, that I can trace history for. I'm just going to have to balance the head and heart there. Like, I would love for my heart to have been right about this twin flame person. But then when my head really makes the assessment and checks the heart, it's like, no, that actually doesn't seem to be like unconditional love, though. That seems to be like unconditional tolerance, because you had a lot of unhealed wounds. And now that the wounds are unhealed, that behavior doesn't sit well with you, so you can't accept it. That's what that seems like. But okay, so how is this block currently manifesting in the 3D? Here we go. We have the 2 of Cups upright and the 7 of Cups in reverse. Very interesting. How is this block of waiting for a person going? Well, you're really developing this is a good thing, right? Because you're developing your own reflective energy within self, but you're not choosing anyone else. So you're not choosing any of your other options or opportunities. You're not seeing any other possibilities for happiness, fulfillment, sexuality, pleasure, building a family, creating an empire and a legacy together outside of the twin. So that's what's happening. You're not having relationships. You're not having any other relationships. If you were like, why don't I have a relationship? This is why. Because you are waiting for the masculine to be ready for you. So what will help remove it? Oh, it's so easy. Just release this past relationship. Here's the Six of Cups. You stop being really fucking naive. This is breadcrumbing. You stop accepting breadcrumbs in this back and forth type of energy from an individual who is refusing to make a decision. If you want to remove this block, then you don't juggle with the energy. You don't pass the ball back and forth with someone who breadcrumbs you. You just drop the ball. You just let the ball drop. They throw you the breadcrumb and you just look at it and you hope your dog comes and eats it because you don't fucking want it. Dogs eat scraps, not humans. Hopefully. We have a little more discernment. I don't just lick anything off the driveway to see if it tastes good. I can tell what I want. So I don't want a crumb. So if I get tossed a crumb, I just let the crumb fall to the ground. I choose not to keep engaging with this past energy. I choose not to keep having this juggling energy back and forth. This removes the block instantly. There's no more block because there's no more waiting for a bigger piece that's not coming. What is the incentive for a person who has withholding tendencies already and trouble, communicating and all of that? What is the incentive for that person to change if you continue to cycle through the same pattern with them? It's like as a parent of an addict, when you have to face that choice that's like, if I continue to give my child money and allow them to come back home, they will continue to be addicted. And you have to make this terrible decision to set this boundary that's like, I love you so much that I won't keep fueling this self-destruction. I will provide you with whatever help I can that's like gonna help remove this from your life, but I won't help you continue to keep it in your life. It's like, those are the kinds of decisions that you have to make when you truly love someone. It's not just all the fun in love feelings. It's like deciding that you can't enable the behavior of someone who is emotionally abusive by their withholding energy. Who or what should I release from my past? No, wrong thing. What behaviors have gotten in my way? I'm not even doing this right. I was just basically doing the freaking obstacles removed for these positions. We still got the same kind of messages though, because in this position, what can I do now to soothe myself about the past experience that you need to release? It's like letting yourself know that you have other options, because what's happening is you're not choosing any of those options. So just know that there are relationships there that are present for you. You just have to choose them. You just have to acknowledge that you have those options, and that will soothe you, basically. Also, this idea that you are always chosen will soothe you. And then for this position, which I said, what will help remove the block? Honestly, everything I said, but this is what can you encounter as you make space. As you make space for new energy, you're leaving behind these past back and forth dynamics, which will help remove this, release this energy as well. No longer engaging in it will then mean that it doesn't happen anymore. So that's what you're making space for. You're making space for the ability to have other options rather than just one, feeling like you only have one choice. So then what behaviors have gotten in my way? Judgment, upright, and the 9 of coins in reverse. Judging yourself for seeing other people, for being single and experiencing other opportunities. This is both true for the feminine and masculine, like judging yourself for having engaged in karmic partnerships. And then because you're judging yourself for that, not feeling worthy to approach the feminine who you want to actually have a relationship with. And the feminine judging herself if she experiences other energies, so she doesn't end up choosing any other options or having any other fulfillment because she's waiting for this other person who's already judging themselves for having chosen other options. So it's that self-perpetuating cycle. And it's single mindedly really feeling like the only thing that will reward you is reconciliation, is hearing an apology, is having this like forgiveness conversation. That's like the only thing that will satisfy you. That behavior has gotten in your way. Rarely do apologies satisfy us. You have to satisfy yourself by releasing what you're holding on to that you need the apology for. What can I do now to avoid this? Ace of Pentacles, now upright. A lot of these cards have moved upright since yesterday. The Nine of Swords in reverse. Yesterday's reading was on the members only page. If you missed it, you can become a member. The information is down below. It's only $3.33 a month. And then you can see 2 extra readings a week. But in yesterday's reading, all of these mystical moments tarot were in reverse, which means there's a big shift or change or turn happening. And then today, a lot of them are now coming out upright. So very interesting energy. But what Divine Feminine can do to avoid this tendency to judge herself for being single or being able to date other people, or to judge the masculine for having done that, or however this is playing out for you, since this is a collective reading, is to focus on her own pentacle, focus on her offer that she brings to the table, because you will either have a match to that offer or she's not going to accept it. And then we see the Nine of Swords and the Five of Wands in reverse. So this is like not being afraid that you're going to have to struggle with this continuing situation where there are too many kids in here, right? This is the Four of Wands being interrupted by another desire, and that turns into a struggle, which then results in a battle, which results in victory in the Six of Wands, which is our theme here. But so she can avoid this behavior of judging herself for entertaining other options by realizing how worthy she is and how much she actually is bringing to the table, and that she doesn't have to be afraid that she's going to keep encountering these situations with these karmic messes or karmic cleanups that need to take place. She has cleaned up her mess. So what she's going to be attracting now is going to be much more conducive to starting to having long-term commitment, prosperity, growth, etc., that comes from that Ace of Pentacles energy. And it's a new offer too. It's like not being afraid that you're going to get new offers, knowing that you will get new offers, not having that mental struggle anymore, or spiritual struggle rather. What is growing within me or the connection as I move on? The Eight of Cups upright and the Five of Pentacles. So Divine Feminine, look at that. You are walking away from feelings of lack, from being left in the cold, from being kept out of a sanctuary, from being hidden, from feeling just this desperation, this unworthiness. There's no more desperation. This is what you're walking away. Feelings of desperate, feelings of begging, of receiving scraps. That is going away. When you wait for somebody to choose you, you're waiting for scraps from someone's table. What? How is it in my experience right now? I'm thinking to myself, I'm sorry. How is it that your person has not called you immediately and said, listen, I want to be with you. I know there's so many other options that you have. Like, please consider me. I'm not sticking around for somebody who can't tell me they love me. I'm not going to stick around for that. I can say that to everybody. I love you. I can say it openly, honestly, with the depth of its meaning. So my counterpart must be able to do that. They must. And it's not like people have to show up right on time, exactly on your timeline. There's a difference between being like, this has to happen when I want it to happen, which is ego-based, versus I keep choosing people that really are not ready for me because clearly I am maybe not ready myself. And that's why I'm gravitating towards this energy. It's the time to ask questions about it. Like, why does that keep happening? What is the reason behind that? What do I need to shift? Okay, so we will go back to the feminine side and use some oracles, some healing cards, some guardians to help her with this release process. Now we're going to go over to the masculine side of self and we're going to look at, okay, assuming we release this waiting for ourselves to have enough money or waiting for the person that we want to feel like they have enough worthiness or whatever that is. As soon as we've released that, what do we need to do now? Well, now we need to rebuild. I'm using the Hermetic Tarot in the headspace and the Wild Unknown Tarot in the heart space for the masculine energy. And we're getting the 8 of Pentacles upright and the 8 of Cups in reverse, which is so interesting because we got the feminine walking away from any lack mentality, from any partners leaving her outside in the cold, not really including her in their sanctuary, however you want to look at that. And then we have the masculine energy having walked away from everything toxic that did not serve him, willing to face this obstacle and having to work through now the obstacles that appear before you when you walk away from the things that don't serve you. This is a card that has Virgo energy in it. So there is perfectionism here. There is working on your craft, honing in on something, creating abundance. It's also, we're getting, I believe that's the sign for Saturn. Sun, the sun sign. So it's actually Virgo sun energy in this card. So Divine Masculine wants to work now that he's walked away from whatever, it was like having to have this incredible, like a huge amount of wealth in order to feel like he could have love in his life or, a great reputation, or he's walked away from whatever this is, like needing to look or appear a certain way. Or in the case of the feminine, walking away from a certain person. Now we have to rebuild. Now we have to work to rebuild from this past toxic behavior or connection or however this goes. So the hidden assistance for the masculine is the strength, the fortitude, this card associated with Leo energy there. The strength to face off his fears, the 9 of Swords here. So the thing is, the things that frightened him, the things that worried him, sort of the nightmarish things that he was constantly worrying about, it's the hidden assistance, 9:22 on the clock and 33 minutes on the timer. The hidden assistance is that he is able to face these fears. He had to learn that he could do it. You have to test yourself to see if you are strong enough, and he has been able to determine that he is. Also, the feminine being unwilling to deal with his nightmarish behavior anymore and stand up to him and say no. This, even though it's caused him a lot of pain and sort of torn him up inside, this has also been something that has really helped him because it forced him to make a decision. If the feminine won't tolerate me anymore, that because of where I am in my life and because of my unwillingness to address that, then I need to do something. So that has helped him. What past experience challenges him in the rebuilding process? We are getting the 4 of Swords upright and the Star, which keeps coming out, I noticed, for Aquarius season. So the Four of Swords and the Star and, wow, the Hierophant. Okay, so these past experiences challenge him in the rebuilding process. I'm just feeling into this because I get a sense here. So the Four of Swords can be about grief, about being unawakened, and it's coming out there with the Star, which is like your wish fulfillment, your hopes, the things that you want to manifest. And then the Hierophant, which for me in this Hierophant card, it's a kind of a strange image. It's like it's the key to your knowledge and awareness, but it's like shocking information. So I feel in some cases the masculine was not communicating about a marriage. Either they were in a marriage or they wanted to get married and they were afraid to talk about marriage. They were afraid of commitment. They were afraid of revealing to others that they wanted to be married. Like maybe that was something that was like not part of their personality or something, and it now has become that way. But there was this unawakened energy. Maybe they weren't even aware that they wanted to be in this marriage. Maybe that was a shocking revelation. And once they realized it, they were like, oh shit, like I do actually really want to be in this commitment with this person, or I want to be committed to this thing. And I didn't tell her, I didn't reveal it to her. Like, and now she's walked away and I don't know how to rebuild the connection because I never told her about whatever this is. This can also be about rigid beliefs, needing to heal rigid, limiting beliefs from a really oppressive belief system. That can also be represented by the Hierophant. What can I do right now to build my confidence? The Ace of Wands, Lord of the Power of Fire, and the Daughter of Pentacles in reverse. I'm getting some kind of an innuendo here, little thing, which is just sort of like, I mean, don't worry that size matters kind of a thing. Because this is like, this is too small, and this is like, big dick energy. But anyways, you can soothe yourself by tapping into the desire that you have, the passion that you feel. The Ace of Wands has been coming up a lot for me recently, and it's definitely the passionate sexual energy that causes you to want it. It's like the urge to be creative, and this idea that this desire, this drive is bigger than your feelings of unworthiness. It's like the reason why the masculine is at the point now where the feminine side of himself is like, I'm not going to wait. I was trying to wait until I could like buy a mansion or something. And I'm not going to do that anymore. It doesn't even matter. That was just a stalling tactic because I was afraid of commitment. Like there's this starting to be this awareness. So really soothing himself into like my feelings of unworthiness. I'm releasing that because I'm understanding my worthiness doesn't have to do with my wealth and my prosperity. So I'm caring less about that. And I'm caring more about what my heart's desire is. What possible future challenges could arise? The Last Judgment, the Spirit of the Primal Fire. This is water energy, right? Fire energy, rather. I take that back. Fire energy. And we've got the Six of Pentacles upright. So the apology, the seeking of the forgiveness is something that definitely could challenge the masculine about the breadcrumbing, because he did make such small gestures. And just because he feels a lot of judgment about this, remember we have divine feminine here sitting in judgment of him, which is one of the behaviors that is holding her back, actually. So really needing to release judgment, to forgive himself for the breadcrumbing, to understand that that came from a desire to try to meet someone's needs before he was truly ready to do that. And it's okay. Now, especially since he's taking accountability for it, he can really just sort of soothe himself into this reconciliation and know that like the divine feminine is unconditionally loving, and just like the divine will grant forgiveness. It could also be just kind of difficult for him to feel capable of reciprocating to someone who is ultimately so angelic in his mind. We've got that, equating her with the star energy, with this goddess energy, with angelic energy, like putting her on a pedestal. So he could be challenged by being like, how do I even reciprocate to this? Because like, mistakenly thinking that there is a material reciprocation that has to occur, not really realizing that just being physically present in the body and being still is actually a reciprocation that is more powerful than all the words, right? What past behaviors have destabilized me? The Eight of Wands, the Lord of Swiftness, and this looks like a Sagittarius energy, and the World in reverse. So prematurely communicating future intention before karmic cycles were closed is coming to me. Sagittarius energy is like blurting things out, before you really should, putting your foot in your mouth, kind of a thing. And Mars energy, which is like aggressive energy as well. Mercury energy, communication. So this could also have to do with Mercury in retrograde. This, because this is what past behaviors have destabilized me. And this could actually be the timing itself of this current cycle. The Mercury in retrograde cycle has destabilized the masculine's ability to communicate. This is falling directly below the Four of Swords, hiding that star energy and the Hierophant. So it's like the actual cosmic energetic resonance is making it difficult for the masculine to communicate. And it's manifested in this difficulty in ending karmic cycles. So closing the door with someone, because of the retrograde, which the retrograde causes us to become nostalgic, particularly we just had that full moon in Cancer, which accelerated that nostalgia energy. So there's this cosmic soup that has really occurred that has made this perfect storm for the masculine to like hold on to some of his older behaviors, beliefs, ideas, the people in his life, and have a harder time letting go. And it's really just been energetic. It's not been like a personality flaw or, some kind of a intentional situation. It has really and truly just been about the masculine being at the mercy of his energetic and spiritual journey. So what can I do to avoid this and stabilize? Death coming up, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Now, death, of course, is associated with Scorpio energy. This is transformation and rebirth. And this is that King of Pentacles, which we saw was a problem already. Over here, the part that needs to be released. And we have King of Pentacles coming in reverse for both masculine and feminine energy today. And this helps stabilize the masculine. So ending the karmic cycles that he was in that had to do with his reputation, with how he appeared, ending any sort of fixation on his material, constantly focusing on that, being overprotective. 9:33 on the clock and 44 minutes on the timer. Geez. And it actually was 4440 when I looked at it. That's crazy. Anyway, and there's 4 people in the room. Okay. We're on the right path here. We get it. The masculine energy has to stop caring so much about what other people think about him. He has to stop caring so much about money and material stuff and worrying about it, and leave that to the divine. Surrender that to the divine. And he has to end any sort of karmic cycles. I'm also sensing there are some that might have a boss, somebody who is in charge of them, and they actually need to quit or end that job. That's coming through for me too for some reason. So that is what will help stabilize the masculine during this period of Mercury in retrograde. And what future prospects do I have to look forward to once I do rebuild and stabilize? The 9 of Cups upright and Judgment. Wow. So that's 3 Judgment cards, all upright. Right there. 3 King of Pentacles, 2 in reverse, 1 upright. And in this position with the Judgment, there was the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, and then the 9. I can't. Of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. All of your wishes granted. All of that abundance and prosperity that you've been having a difficult time sharing and expressing. Finally seeing the full expression of that wish fulfillment. And re-experiencing the peace that comes from reconciliation and forgiveness. And the salvation that is inherent in that process of reconciliation. Okay. Let's go look at the oracles for the Divine Feminine and help her with her release process. Divine Feminine. Interesting. We're using the Tarot of the 78 doors. The door that needs to be opened for the Divine Feminine is the Sun card. So she needs to open this joy, open this door into this joy, into this feeling of the inner child, the inner children, healed within the center of self. Do you see how that's like in the center there? And it's inside of herself. How can she open this door to this healing energy of the sun, which of course is associated with divine masculine energy, by the way, through the Queen of Cups energy? And I am telling you that to me, this is a masculine begging forgiveness and the feminine granting it because of her love and compassion. So I'm sorry that I took so long. I'm sorry that I did XYZ. It's like the prodigal son, okay? Ultimately, everyone is prodigal, and coming back home is the whole reason for every season. Like coming home to the center, coming home to the heart, coming home to balance. So yeah, Divine Feminine, you need to open up that joy towards the masculine energy. And the way that you will do that is by forgiving masculine energy that has wounded or hurt you. And I'm telling you, this is before they even come and ask for it. Forgive them before they've even asked for it. Forgive them without the apology. You don't even need the apology. The apology is for them. And the forgiveness is for you. Right now, the archetype that is going to help you with the release is this hedonist energy. Now, you needed to release a specific person and allow yourself to enter into a new relationship, because whatever karmic individual that you had held on to, that you were in a state of waiting for, that needs to end for both people. For the feminine who was holding on to a past energy that wasn't choosing her, and for the masculine that was holding on to a karmic energy that they didn't have feelings for, that they didn't truly love. So the reason they were doing that was from out of obligation or duty. And divine feminine and masculine both must embrace the beauty in themselves, right? So this is inspiring creative energy to embrace the good things in life and celebrating the beauty in yourself. So this is going to help the divine feminine energy to really release this need to wait for somebody to validate her right to pleasure and adornment, and basically her right to her own Empress energy. It's not needing permission for that anymore. It's granting yourself your own permission. Okay. You have 2 guardians that are going to help you with this release process of releasing, waiting for a specific King of Pentacles. You are receiving just this reassurance from your guardian angel that they are going to help you with this energy of triumphant, which to me is victory. And of course, the beginning of the reading showed us that what we needed to do today was prepare for our victory. So I am actually feeling that your guardian angel is helping you with this preparation for the triumph that you have are going to be able to claim, and that Padre Pio has returned to reassure you that you have healed enough to receive this Ace of Cups that you've been longing for. So Padre Pio is helping you to feel that you have really been healed. It's kind of insulting to the divine when you're like, there must be something wrong with me. And the divine is like, no, there's something wrong with how you're looking at yourself, at the situation. That is what is off. It is not you that is off. It is how you perceive the situation, how you don't see or believe or have faith that I have healed what you have asked me to heal. Okay. So you're getting support in believing in this healing and believing that you have prepared for this victory. Your spirit to help you today is Snake Spirit. And look at what it says, and it was in reverse. It says, take time to heal, but it's in reverse because of what I just said to you. You don't need to take any more time to heal. You are ready to start a relationship with a soulmate at this time. Now, if you are going to ignore my advice or Spirit's advice today and continue to hold on to a specific energy, know that if you choose to do that, it is okay, because that was actually your hidden assistance. For some in the collective, holding on to a specific King of Pentacles has given them the time they need to heal. But for those that are at a later stage of the journey, they are being encouraged to embrace that the person you are holding on to has given you the time that you need to heal. And that letting go of them is the proof that you have healed enough to now enter into a healthy union with your match, with your person, who is likely not the specific person that you have been holding on to this whole time. It is most likely a new partner, because that person that you were holding on to was meant to teach you what you needed to know to heal, but now you're healed. And so once you let go of that energy, then the energy that matches you can step up. We are getting, so during the release and rebuild spread, I like to use the actual, the Moonology deck because of the release elements here involved in cycles. And Divine Feminine, you are getting the mutable moon, which says nothing is yet set in stone, which is why setting your heart or setting your sights on one individual doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Mutable is all about change, shape-shifting even, that something is still developing. This card indicates that something is indeed changing and there's room for maneuver. So take it as a sign that the situation you're asking about is far from finalized. If you're not happy with the current state of play, that's marvelous. It means you can still change the course of the outcome. However, there is also a sense that the situation could perhaps be a little unstable. For some, this is great news because you can still influence it. Others will struggle with the uncertainty, but should stay with it a little longer. Either way, nothing is set in stone yet. To attune to the moon, say, I know that the best will unfold for me. So I really would like for you to use that as your mantra. I know that the best will unfold for me. That you should add as a mantra this week. Here are the additional meanings for this card. You are meandering towards your goal, and that's okay. It's interesting because I said that the Knight of Cups is more of a meandering energy, and that was the card I pulled yesterday. Staying adaptable is the key to success for you now. Make sure you're not being led astray. Have you become distracted? Time to focus. Stay with it, whatever it means to you. In astrology, there are 3 so-called quadruplicities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The mutable signs are Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. And when the moon is in one of these signs, you know there's going to be more flexibility in a situation. Anytime you pull this card, it suggests there is the opportunity to keep visualizing and affirming what you want, as there's still room for change. So think about what you want and enjoy the daydream. And I really like that, because if I pulled these cards up, I would say that you are not thinking about what you are wanting, and you are not enjoying the daydream. You are thinking more about what you don't want, and you're not enjoying like a fantasy about what you do want. And so I like that encouragement right now, that like when you've released this a specific identity or specific outcome, then you open up to receive much more than you could possibly imagine. So you have to enjoy what your imagination brings you, and then be so open to the idea that there's even more that you're not imagining, that you're going to be able to experience when you surrender control. Your healing energy today is birds or freedom, which is a real a theme that keeps coming up for me personally. And birds I also associate with communication. This is from the shamanic medicine oracle. Your soul is longing to soar like a bird high in the sky. It sings as a caged bird, a song of freedom. You are being urged to sharpen your senses and be watchful. Spirit has been sending you messages in the form of falling feathers and ornamency. There's a feather right there she's standing on. Divining through the observation of birds, their flight patterns, cries, and behaviors. This card has flown in now and taps on your window pane. So fling the doors wide open and let fresh air circulate. You have been cooped up for quite long enough. It is time to spread your wings and go searching for adventure. Opportunity awaits as a new horizon beckons. See the world from a bird's eye view and break free from entrapment. Escape from the chains that prevent you from speaking your truth. It is time for you to be heard, to have the freedom to make your own choices and be responsible for making decisions, never minding whether they are right or wrong. Right now, it is having the freedom to make a choice that will set you well and truly free. Wow, so profound for the feminine energy. The winged ones have been showing us signs from nature, omens, and messages from the gods long before history was written. In Egypt, seeing a flock of birds after someone's death was a good sign. It was believed the birds were escorting the person to their new incarnation. From supernatural to magical powers, the medicine of birds teaches us how to fly free with strength and valor. A new gateway is opening. Have courage and walk through it. You are soaring high right now. Don't let others bring you down. Sharpen your senses to the messages around you. Take steps to leave a difficult situation. Make a decision. Freedom awaits. In each direction, watch us fly. We send a message from the sky. Receive our feathers, hear our sound. Fly through life. Now freedom's found. So Divine Feminine, now that you are releasing this attachment to a specific outcome, you have so much more freedom. You were really a prisoner of that attachment for so long. Okay. Your theme That Five of Wands, girl, coming up with analyze. Hey, your time is well spent analyzing, but only up to where you become too attached to any particular outcome. What is blocking you from your Four of Wands, Divine Feminine? Your attachment to this desire for a particular outcome. So let me read you the creativity oracle message that comes with analyze. This is the 68th card. The analyze card is an indication that problems related to the matter in question are the results of either too much or not enough detailed analysis, so the situation can be better understood. To analyze is to break something down into smaller pieces so you can better appreciate how it works as a whole, in the way that our digestive tract takes in our food and breaks it down into usable nutrients and waste. Analysis, organization, and methodology are important steps in creative practices. You may want to try making lists. It is important to look at your work's component parts and the various stages of your process with an eye to improving them. It is more important, however, to remember that over-analysis can easily devolve into fixation or obsession or a type of self-criticism that does no one any good at all. Let go of this desire for this specific outcome, and you will be free to receive the outcome you've requested. That's your work this week, feminine. Masculine, your turn. Here is the door that the masculine must open. It's the Fool, the clean slate, the fresh start, the new beginning, the leap, taking the leap into the unknown. This is the key. Look, he has the key. But the Fool is forever in the captured at the moment just before the leap. Forever and ever and ever, the Fool is condemned to almost taking that leap, okay? What will open the door for the divine masculine energy to finally have that extra push that is needed to actually start new and fresh again is this healing energy that will come from communicating openly in honesty and integrity in the King of Swords energy, strategically and swiftly coming forward to heal the divine feminine that has been waiting for so long to hear from you. Can't make that up. Here is the archetype that is actually serving you right now. This is the companion energy. And says that releasing this betrayal by misusing confidences or the loss of personal identity, and tuning into loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. So for me, releasing this loss of your personal identity in your companion, that has really served you. You've actually learned this lesson through your issues with loyalty because you've been not loyal and you have had other relationships with karmic energies. You've been on the receiving end of people who have lost their personal identity within you. And when you've tried to extract yourself from them, they have no, they are so clinging to you because they don't have their own identity. So you've experienced that. And it has encouraged you to choose one individual to be more loyal to and to approach things with a certain amount of unselfishness because you've been on the receiving end of a negative energy from companions in your past. So that archetype is helping you right now rebuild loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness with the divine feminine. You're also having two guardians today. Your guardian angel is just here presenting you with this diploma and saying like, okay, you've learned your lesson and it's a fucking miracle because because we're getting this Christ card here with miracle. So divine masculine, this is like the ultimate healing. There's dominion here because this world, we see the divine holding the world, and the magician energy also of this co-creation, this learning that your healing comes from above, from the divine, and allows you to be able to actually have dominion over your world. But Christ is really here to provide this miraculous healing for you, and help you to swiftly finish this education much faster than you would do if you weren't co-creating with spirit. Your spirit animal that's helping you is Badger Spirit. Be fearless and bold. Again, with that world energy, the dominion energy coming here. Be fearless and bold, divine masculine. This is like, don't be concerned about what others will think. This is worthiness, feeling worthiness. I'm just looking for the book here. I want to check the Badger message for protection. And there might be somebody pushy or manipulative that you need to kind of shake off. Don't worry about them. Surrender and let the higher power protect you from your self-will run rampant, from being obsessed with getting what you want in the form you prefer. Know that better, more beautiful opportunities will be the result when you release some of this Badger Spirit intensity, along with your need to have it your way 100%. That tracks. All right. And then your release energy coming from the Moonology deck is balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces there. Pisces are not great at doing this, balancing of spirituality and practicality. The age of Aquarius. Here we go. Have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention and to make a concerted effort to move towards your goals. The more practical steps you can take, the better. It is time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting the martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop the act for everyone's sake. To attune with the moon, meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. Additional meanings for this card. You're in a super romantic but not super realistic state. Follow your intuition. It won't let you down. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. The person you're inquiring about is a soulmate. Avoid substance abuse. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so the full moon in Pisces symbolically marks endings. When the moon is full in Pisces, or whenever you pull this card, it's a time to dive deep into your emotions. Practicality is at odds with the numinous Piscean energies that have no borders, so feel your way now. Psychic ability is heightened when the full moon is in Pisces, and soulmates now connect. It is also a time to send out your dreams to the universe, releasing your fears. All right, and your shamanic medicine is shapeshifter energy. Perspective. To understand a troubling situation in your life, see things from a totally different perspective. Shape-shifting helps you do this. By taking on the qualities of a power animal, you will see or hear what is being conveyed with clarity. Choose an animal that suits your current needs. Maybe you should choose Badger Spirit. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and focus on the animal's characteristics. Breathe them into your very being. As you continue, you will become one with your animal and be taken on a visual journey. At first, you may find it unsettling to feel the body and characteristics of the animal you have become, but do not fear. The insight and perspective of this animal will be of great benefit. A smooth transformation back into your own mind and body is assured. An understanding of how to resolve your dilemma will stay with you. Listen to and observe your thoughts carefully. List all the positive attributes about yourself and the world around you. Change negative words to positive ones. Be free with your compliments, gratitude, and praise. What you deem as right may not be so for another. Whichever form you choose to take, bear, butterfly, wolf, or snake, the medicine will speak to you of what it is you now must do. And then, oh my God. I think, hang on, I have to look because I always get this card. Nope, I know by the number. Your theme is judgment, divine masculine, and partnership. Once you have decided to walk your path in partnership, you must put the relationship first. This is why it's been difficult for the masculine. The masculine has always been taught to put himself first. The feminine has always been taught to put masculine first. But in actuality, the partnership between them must be put first. They must bring their own autonomy to the relationship and then make decisions for the partnership, not selfish decisions, but also not selfless in the point where they lose themselves and their identity. So the divine masculine has to learn about the salvation that comes through this reconciliation, through the release of this harsh criticism of self, and the understanding that the forgiveness that exists here, that allows the rebirth of the connection, is given on the understanding that now the partnership will be put first before the needs of the individuals. That's what makes relationships difficult. People always want relationships, but when they're really faced with that ultimate knowing, which is that you must put the relationship before you. If you don't have a strong sense of your own authentic self, you will put the other person before you. You won't be able to detach the other person from the actual relationship. It will be about them, not about the partnership. Okay? So that's the lesson that masculine is miraculously learning right now. All right, we are at the final cards here for the reading. These are the closing messages for feminine and masculine together. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can click the link below for pearlsprayers.com/members. That's going to take you to a page that shows you pretty much every single thing you might be interested in. The Tell Me Everything spreads, becoming a member, taking the spiritual nourishment course, listening to my music. All of that information is below. There's a video that tells you what the spiritual nourishment course is about. And I highly encourage any of you to take it. It is not gender-based. It is called Becoming the Empress, but it does not matter what your gender is. What it means is you are learning to tune into your own intuition so that you need to rely less on me and other intuitive individuals and more on your own personal feelings. And we start that using the modality of food because that's like a really good way for you to be able to feel into your true desires and stuff. So that's all below. Let's open and close the door for the divine feminine and masculine energy. Both. The door that needs to be closed is this door to the 8 of Swords, which is this mental entrapment, frightening ourselves in our own. Look, and she's running down into her own dungeon. This vulnerability, rather than experience the vulnerability, she's running away, but she's running away into her own mental prison. What will open up the door to, or close the door to this behavior and open up a door to healthier boundaries, healthier behaviors? The Knight of Cups energy. The Knight of Cups come up a bunch for me personally. I was like, oh my God, I am the Knight of Cups. It's a Pisces, Cancer, Aquarian energy is embodied in the card. And there is this indolent poet that I keep drawing from this card. It does have a wishy-washy quality, but when it's upright, it is being completely open and receiving of love, giving and receiving of love, having a full cup, and being willing to actually give to someone else. So you right now are both protecting yourselves from these fears and anxieties you have. Either you are holding on to another partner because it feels safe, even though it's a prison, or you are refusing to choose any new partners because you're afraid of the kind of energy that's going to come forward, and you need to open up instead of closing off. So if you feel yourself closing, resist and open yourself instead. You know, like when somebody calls me or texts me at 7 at night and is like, do you want to go get a drink tonight? And I've been in my pajamas for at least an hour, and I have like, you know, just snuggled in to like read something or watch an episode or something. And my whole being is like, no, I don't want to go out to drink. I need to be like, okay, I will go out and be open, because maybe tonight I will run into my person and meet them for the first time and finally start to have what I've asked for, because instead of being closed off and protecting myself from any experiences, I've opened myself up to having lots of new ones, right? Okay, great. So I love that you're going to go do that later. What is helping the both of you is this archetype of the vampire, and it's releasing these negative traits associated with it, which is depleting others for your psychic survival and a chronic complaining and codependency, and instead being aware that someone or something or you are draining your life force. So both of you have benefited from this ability to suss out vampiric energy, whether in yourself or in someone else. And this is really helpful because you can not invite it in, and you can behead it, put a stake through its heart. Right now, your guardian angel is just supporting the both of you in stress management. It's been a stressful time. It's been a crazy week. We've had a lot of weird, freaky energy going on. Everybody's kind of all over the place. One thing is, I finally did let myself get Indian food last night. My friend came over and we had a feast and it was delicious. And I'm so hungry right now, and I'm going to go have that. And that is like such a nice, nourishing, warm, yummy feeling. So doing those kind of cozy things, allowing yourself to experience pleasure, within reason. Obviously, if pleasure becomes numbing behavior, it's no longer stress management. It's actually going to create more stress in the long run. But balancing the ways that you bring stress management to yourself. Eagle spirit. This keeps coming up for me. This is spirit has your back. And I'm actually going to read you Eagle spirit's message because it was the protection message. Oh, we don't get Eagle spirit all the time. Oh yeah, this one. If you are walking awkwardly and feeling embarrassed, Eagle Spirit is here to tell you that is only because right now you are meant to fly. Soar over the troubles that have you feeling scared and alone. See the big picture, yet retain your eagle eye for the details that help you claim your wisdom and courage. Or perhaps you are making yourself small for the sake of getting others to accept you. Now is not the time to be vulnerable and dependent, for you have the wings to fly on your own, and you need to do that at this time. There is no need to huddle in a shelter or even to seek out a flock to support you. For Eagle Spirit says you have tremendous wisdom and courage within. Let it arise so that you might soar proudly with the angels serving as the wind beneath your wings. From these heights, you can make the best and most powerful choices for the highest good of all. Love that message for you today. And it's the blue moon. Believe in the impossible. I can't remember where they put it. I think it's in the back. There we go. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance and that something one-off could well be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking too much of the universe. Whatever you are asking about, well, it might happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. To attune to the moon, you should say, I'm lucky. Which is interesting because this card of preparation says, luck comes most often to the person and the place where preparation, opportunity, and skill meet. And your whole reading was about the healing that has been done, that has allowed you to be able now to be at that opportune place to achieve this victory that you've been longing for. Additional meanings for this card are miss the chance, and it might not come back anytime soon. What happened may only happen once. The person you're inquiring about is a rare find. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. This situation is unlikely to repeat. There are usually 3 full moons between each equinox and solstice and vice versa. Sometimes, though, we get 4 full moons in a single season. When that happens, the third of the season's 4 full moons is called a blue moon. At least that was the original definition of a blue moon. These days, it's popular to use the blue moon for the second full moon in any calendar month that has 2 full moons. Significant. Okay, here is the healing medicine for the 2 of you. This is offerings, and it says wealth on it. I like this card. I don't think I've seen it before from this deck yet. And it has a feeling of 7 of Pentacles, like harvest kind of a feeling to me. It is time to give back. Make a list of everything you are grateful for, and you will soon notice how rich you really are. To receive, one must give. Everything is interconnected, so when you give, abundance will flow back to you in some form. Spirit provides for our needs, so make offerings and thanksgiving for all you have and all you are, a regular practice. This can be done daily, anywhere, and at any time to great effect. Offerings can be made in many forms, such as fruit, nuts, and candles. Whatever you give is greater when infused with gratitude. Give something that is of importance or value to you, for then you really are giving. You could also make an offering through prayer, song, or by saying a simple thank you. Be humble and thankful. Hold the offering to your heart and allow it to become a blessing. This practice will enhance your connection with spirit and invite abundance to come your way. Offerings have been made to the gods throughout humanity's history. The practice of bearing offerings, such as water, cakes, bread, and pottery with the deceased, dates back 100,000 years. In ancient Egypt, Asia, Europe, and Africa, specially designated priests and priestesses performed ritual offerings of food, drink, clothing, perfumes, and flowers. Spirit houses still abound throughout Southeast Asia. The divinatory meanings may include financial difficulties are soon resolved, an unexpected windfall comes your way, focus on what you do want rather than what you don't, you are worthy, practice the art of receiving, gratitude ensures a bountiful crop. The offering speaks, give thanks and offer up with love, ensure abundance from above. With humble heart, you must believe. Hold your hands out to receive. You must believe it to achieve it. And your final messages. We're getting the 8 of Cups and the card of resistance. Understanding why you resist what you have to do is a crucial part of the process. Understanding why you are resisting your higher calling is a crucial part of this creative process for you. So there is a reason why you don't walk away from things that are toxic. And the understanding what that reason is a crucial part for you to be able to prepare to receive this victory. All right. I would have liked to have done the going general cards today, but I cannot because I really do want to take my dog out again. She has not peed yet today, and I'm sure she's probably not very comfortable. So I'm going to go and take her out instead of doing those cards. I will try to do them this weekend in the Tell Me Everything spread that I'm planning to do tomorrow. And for sure, maybe I'll just do on Sunday. I was thinking about doing just a little Aquarius spread for Aquarius season, even though we are also going to have the Grace Drager reading on Sunday, just because I felt like it. And so maybe I will just include it because it's going to be just a little short reading. I'll include the going general cards in that reading on Sunday, perhaps. So I apologize for not getting to that today. Thank you so much for being here with me. Please go click support. I've noticed that people have not been sending really support my way recently. I know everybody's in different financial struggles, so I understand that for some people that are here regularly, they've invested in supporting me in other ways, and I thank you for that. But ultimately, I do need to keep going, and part of that process is when you go and click support, you can donate through PayPal, you can send me a deck, you can book personal readings, you can become a member. It's really inexpensive to do so. And every little bit does help me out. This is my main gig, this and music. And as an entertainer, I rely on tips. So please send those my way. Thank you so very much for all of you who do already. And I will see you again tomorrow. Again, if you are a member, I will see you on, it's a YouTube reading, but it happens through a private unlisted playlist that you can access on my website. And then on Sunday with Grace Drago, we will be starting at 1 p.m. Pacific Coast time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an hour on TikTok, doing completely free personal readings. And then we will head over to Instagram. We're really going to try to keep that reading to under an hour. It has been getting out of control. So we're going to do a quick divine check-in and then choose your own personal readings. They will be much shorter in length than they have been. Just because we're ending up reading for like 3 hours that day, and it's a lot for us. So please come and participate on Sunday for that if you're interested. Otherwise, I shall see you bright and early on Monday morning for the divine tune-in and begin again our next week. So take care, everybody. I shall see you tomorrow. Have the best day.